Due to the abundance of information in the modern world, one becomes confused. In order to live better, one needs guidelines. Mystics and philosophers have such guidelines. In the video, we will present to you 10 simple but extremely profound rules for a better life. The wise have always known about them, but modern man has forgotten them. Buddha said that it is not the action that frightens a person, but the ignorance of what to do. If every person had simple and easy to understand rules that would make a person developed and harmonious, and with the help of which one could live a better life, becoming happy for such a person would be a natural event in one's destiny. Here are 10 rules for a better life, according to which the wise of this world live and encourage others to live. Stop worrying. This first rule of living a better life is one of the most important. The fact is that worrying does not give clarity to the picture. Imagine a surface of water. When it is wavy, the brightness of the sun and the blue of the freedom of the sky are reflected in such water with distortions. In exactly the same way, a worried person sees one's own surroundings incorrectly and falsely. Science shows that worrying and anxiety directly affects a person's decreased activity in a constructive social life, the fulfillment of social responsibilities, and affects one's mental and physical health. Worrying exhausts the nervous system and makes life unbearable. Meanwhile, thoughtfulness and discernment have nothing common with worrying. They provide a way out of any current situation. Anxiety drives a person into a dead end. Stop and look at things calmly and deliberately. This will bring you closer to solving any issue. Stop trying to control the lives of friends and relatives. We are so accustomed to manipulating someone in life and participating in someone else's manipulations that we perceive such attitudes towards each other as the norm. But that's not true. This is a distortion and an anomaly in a healthy human society. Assuming the right to rule over someone and the desire to give unsolicited advice drains everyone. Instead of living one's own life, a person is focused on someone else's and tries to control it. Such behavior is energy-consuming and ineffective in terms of clarity of perception of what is happening. Remember that the best argument is your own example. Follow the advice that you would like to give to others. With our arguments and inappropriate advice, we tire ourselves and those around us. Focus on your life, and like-minded people will appear in it. Curb your ambition. Ambition is a desire for high status, fame, and glory. This desire is developed and cultivated in social networks and mass media. As a result, people set themselves advertised and alien goals and live lives that are not their own. Ambitious people fall into extreme selfishness and are ready to take action if they see interest or injustice only in relation to themselves. They don't care about others. Ambition is built on illusions and false goals that take energy away from what a person really needs. A person stops seeing the meaning in what one already has. To be a harmonious person, you don't have to be famous. You don't need to hold a high position to find happiness. You will determine the real meaning of your life when ambition disappears in you and you give up excessive ambition. Don't save more than you really need. Due to false life guidelines, a person began to confuse a rich and full of feelings life with the amount in one's account. Meanwhile, money only makes things accessible. If finance is the meaning of life, then such a worldview does not lead a person to real wealth, but one's feelings to the required depth. Money should serve, instead man serves money. Anyone who works exclusively for money and sees the meaning of life in hoarding does not live at all. Part of a person's energy must certainly be aimed at developing the strengths and noble aspects of the individual. Remember that world is more valuable than money, and all the efforts of a person who lives for the sake of accumulation in any case turn into a place in the cemetery which one has already earned a long time ago and where one will not be different from others. Concentrate on living a harmonious life. The necessary amounts of money will come when clarity, understanding, and a living breath of your revealed feelings appear in your life. Learn to relax. Ancient knowledge says that the only real devil living on earth is human stupidity. Stupidity possesses a person when one is tense. It stops the creative process and blocks any constructive decision and action. Every situation should be resolved naturally. Overcoming and attention does not mean tension. On the contrary, they make a person effective. To be effective, you don't need to be tense. You need to think clearly and perceive the situation adequately. Sincere and creative work, alternating with relaxation, can preserve a person for many years. Don't forget that good rest is 50% of good work. Relaxation does not mean exhausting yourself with alcohol and a chaotic lifestyle. Relaxation is a change of activity and directing your efforts in a creative direction. For this, you need a hobby. A favorite hobby is the key to effective work. Develop a sense of humor. The ability to laugh at yourself is a necessary skill in life. But humor should not be bitter, dangerous, or cynical. We need to learn to laugh not at the world, but with the world. Humor reduces stress, protects against stupid behavior, and makes a person more productive and creative. Science says that employees who attended training sessions where they were taught to approach things with humor experienced less stress at work, had an elevated mood, and were in a good state of mind throughout the work hours spent after the training. Humor does not mean frivolity. Rather, it teaches us to understand that we take many things too seriously. Laughing at yourself well will make you a better person and increase your motivation. Find the meaning of your life. Without a goal in life, a person is like a flower that withers in the absence of water and sunlight. Many people set goals that are related to their personal desires. Having achieved them, they do not receive satisfaction. The goal and the real meaning of life must be much larger than the personality and its aspirations. Neither advancement at work nor accumulation of money can be the real purpose of your life. All these are tools for moving towards the goal. Some say they can't find their goal in life or the meaning of their lives. If you don't know what you're living for, it means you don't have enough energy. First, you need to improve your everyday life and put things in order so that they stop draining you and taking a lot of energy. Having accumulated energy, you will be able to set a real goal for yourself. Remember, if you don't understand why you live, you don't know how to live. Do not harm any other person. The Garden of Eden is within man, not in heaven. Its beauty depends on what soul and spiritual flowers we plant in it. The wise say that when we plant thistles, our entire garden becomes overgrown with thistles. You cannot achieve a better life at the expense of someone or by causing harm and pain to someone. What we wish for other people, we bring into our lives. From our motives for others, we build the road to our happiness. Don't accumulate evil. Remember that the fact of resentment and anger towards anyone is a sign of the unsettled and mundane aspirations of an undeveloped internal human structure. Force comes from integrity. Your anger, indignation, and hatred are the gates through which energy flows away from you and which make you accessible to any absurdities of this world. Get rid of the evil within yourself and focus on your destiny. This way, no external evil can influence you. Refrain from anger. Anger is the reason why a person becomes blind even if one has perfect vision. In a moment of anger, we can create a situation that will take years or decades to correct. Anger is like a smoldering spark in your soul. As soon as the wind blows, a fire will engulf your entire house. Dissatisfaction with people must be replaced with understanding and awareness of the reasons for their behavior. There is no need to make a remark and point out to the person if you yourself made a mistake in a similar situation. Cultivate mercy in yourself. Anger turns your heart into insensitive ice. Remember that Gerda's tear melted Kai's heart, returning his feelings and life. Empathy for others and a sincere desire to understand motives can free us from anger and protect us from the callousness and insensitivity that turn life into a gray series of days filled with unhappiness and anger. Be merciful. Mercy leads to generosity. The greatness of the soul will reveal your spiritual forces to you and make life a fairy tale. Don't blame anyone. Blaming someone or something for our misfortunes and failures is a sign of an immature soul. We get into a bad situation without knowing how to fully and properly utilize the resources available to us. Nature and the world do not drive a person into a corner and a hopeless situation. One finds oneself in an impasse because of one's lack of understanding. Do not blame anyone. Keep your body healthy, develop your intellect by learning, your feelings by means of lofty ideas and creativity, and your spirituality by means of a deep sense of unity with all living beings. You will see that there is no need to blame anyone in the world, not even yourself. Instead, you need to draw conclusions and take responsibility for your life. Learning to think clearly and without anger, you will overcome any situation, gain the necessary experience, and become smarter. These 10 rules can lead a person to insight and a better life. In their simplicity, they have maximum effectiveness and depth of wisdom. These 10 rules for a better life can be implemented by everyone in their daily lives, starting now. All you need is the desire to learn and discover your inner potential. Every person has the right to be happy. The wise say that a person deprives oneself of happiness because of one's misunderstanding and ignorance. Often one has no plan for own life. One does not look at life strategically and does not see the deep connections between the things of the world. Meanwhile, it is philosophical thinking and developed inner psychological constitution that revitalize life and get rid of many troubles. When you get rid of troubles and hardships, you focus on the main things. In this way, you become strong, courageous, happy, and fulfill purpose of your life.